As I really began researching, I found out that most of this stuff that accused Joseph Smith of certain things, especially polygamy, were stuff that was added to a book that two professors at the Brigham Young University wrote called The Words of Joseph Smith. And these were additions that were put in the book that said forgotten. They would write, sometimes they'd be written on the side of the paper, inserted in the wrong place, or it would be recorded, and at the bottom they would say it wasn't a secretary that had the prophet. It would be recorded by some other man. And once I found out that which was recorded after the martyrdom, because the person who recorded it wasn't in Nauvoo at the time. For plural, actually it was plural concubines, it wasn't plural wives. Came in 1831. It was a carnal commandment justified through faith. It involved taking plural wives, I guess, of the Lamanites. William W. Phillips was among the group that was with Joseph Smith when he received the revelation, which was given to Joseph Smith long before Brigham Young became a member of the church. After Brigham Young became a member, he sent a copy of the original revelation about the Nephites and Lamanites to Brigham Young. So Brigham Young was well aware of what the revelation involved. But this did not please Brigham Young. He was more into mortality and the physical than spiritual revelation. When he took over, before Joseph Smith died, he was preaching plural marriage as a celestial law. It was no longer with him a carnal commandment. he was preaching about taking wives of their own choice. Joseph Smith had a hard time converting the members that he chose to live this carnal commandment. And when Brigham Young introduced the new concept, a good portion of the leaders in the church bought it completely. He was asked to read a scripture by the prophet in a meeting, and he gave immediately the scripture to somebody else to read, because he couldn't read. There's quite a bit of proof in what he misses to erase that he wasn't telling the truth, no matter how stupendous his statements were to try to put Joseph Smith guilty and that he was lying. One thing that was very interesting, in the 132nd section of the Doctrine and Covenants, which talks about celestial marriage, he forgets to eliminate the priesthood involved, which is Aaronic. There are no celestial laws under the Aaronic priesthood. That was a very bad mistake that he left in, but it was also proof that he did not read the 132nd section and all the stuff he had his secretaries add. They did not understand the principle he was trying to project, or even they would have picked it up. But Joseph Smith, one of his last statements was that he was going to try them in court, those who were practicing plural marriage. And I think as close as 11 days later, he was martyred. And Brigham Young states in the history of the church that he was in the East when it happened. But there are two recordings in the history of the church by his brother, Brigham Young's brother, that they were headed for Nauvoo, the Carthage jail, when they were informed that Joseph and Hiram had already been killed.